Right, I've literally just sorted myself out from a very boo-hooical situation that just came out of nowhere, like they do. But it's kind of, I thought I would comment on it because, like, this morning started as a morning, and I fully intended was just in the mode of getting ready to go and read cards, and the girl at the shop texted and was like, she said, "Are you coming in or are you going to leave it till Saturday?" Which suddenly made me think, yeah, it probably is just going to be 3 or 4 hours of walking around an empty shop again. So I took an executive decision and thought there is stuff I could do here. You know, it's I know my reasons for doing it, and I'd love to have like reservations and sort of loads of people to read for, but the main reason, it's just something to keep me going. You know, like 1 or 2 readings is loads. It still makes it a really sort of fulfilling day. But then you have got to be balanced about things, and it's like I have spent a hell of a lot of time just sitting in a shop, which is okay. It's fine. You know, that's the sort of things that everyone has to do if they're building something up. They need to push it and get out there and stuff. But it's like I say, it's kind of I have to have a balanced approach to it, and I don't want to be just sitting there bored and disheartened. Do you know what I mean? When what I can do is I've not checked actually. She said she was going to put a post up, and I can spend sort of 3 days plugging it before I actually go there, and so sort of at least share the post up a little bit and try and generate a bit of forward interest in it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just, "Hi, I'm here now, come down." Which it kind of has been. Or sometimes I've not shared the post till like 1 or 2 o'clock and forgot to do it, and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, Saturday's hopefully a day when people are meeting friends and stuff anyway. They might be out and about. You never know. I think I've got a better chance. So then I was doing bits and bobs here, and I won't talk about what set me off. It was literally just a thought train that came from something on the telly, and then just made me, you know. It's interesting when people say words can't make you feel anything. Of course they fucking can. Why do people cry at poetry and songs and fucking stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? Words are powerful. Words are powerful. No one can make you feel anything without your consent. I don't like that one. I really don't like that one. Because, you know, of course things can make, you know, words are descriptions of things that have happened sometimes, and that makes you fucking cry. It's not that you've given your power away to the word of someone else. It's like, so, you know, I don't know. I just don't like that one. I don't like that one. But it's kind of, yeah, it was just one of those, just a little sob, which I thought I'd recovered from, and then it went like the floodgates opened. And I was just bawling my fucking eyes out, and I wouldn't have been able to tell you why. Not well, I kind of would have done, but it's just empty, and just the stuff that makes people go, "I don't know what to say." Basically, you know, when someone's upset about something that you can't change, and you feel really kind of like, But again, I think that's where we need to change. We need to stop thinking I need to say something to fix it. We need to stop putting that pressure on ourselves of making it right for them, because that's when we start telling them that it's not really happening, and telling them that they can make it go away, and that's when they feel marginalized and not heard, and they're just left with all of this horrible shit that people are just going, "It's not happening." And it becomes quite a weird world, and the world is weird anyway for me. The world is weird. You know, I sometimes get annoyed at how not Thursday enough the day is. Why does this shop feel like I'm in Poole? And stuff like that. I do live in an odd little world. But there you go. It's just, you know, I'm off to get my braids done. But yeah, I think that's the point I was going to make as well. It's like, yeah, I am that fucking sensitive. I'm that fucking tender. I'm that fucking tender. And yeah, I can suppress that sort of shit when I'm out and about. But then I just end up being like disconnected even from myself, not connected with you, just this weird consciousness that doesn't know what it is, or what it's meant to say or do, or and it's just like an uncomfortable limbo zone that I'm in a lot of the time when I'm out and about. This weirdness. I have an often weirdness to my hours in the day. I'm just, and again, it comes across as you're not sure of yourself, you're not confident. Da, da, da. It's like yes and no, really. Yes and no. It's a different cause. It's a different cause. Like people who are not sure of themselves are just sort of, I don't know if that's funny or not. Or you know, I don't know. It comes across as like a lack of self-belief or whatever. But whereas with me, it's like I never know if I'm appropriate. I never know if I'm in the right context because I doubt every context that I'm in a lot of the time, and I'm often quite surprised. Like sometimes when I crack jokes and people laugh, I'm like, thank fuck for that. I thought that one was probably a bit dodgy, and that does come from experience. It's not just like, oh, I think I'll say the wrong thing. It's like, no, I know I do. And I say the really fucking stupidly, embarrassingly wrong thing. And the stuff that makes people fucking hate me and fucking all sorts of calamitous fucking things. But again, it's, you know, you just sort of think where that came from and how emotional I got and how I couldn't stop it. And I've spent a lot of time in these videos stressing the point that it's an illness. And there's a bullet wound and a gun, and you know, when you talk about the gun, it doesn't change the bullet wound. And I need to like accept that I suffer from bullet wounds where there was no gun. Because the thing is, when you've got a lot of reasons to be dissatisfied with who you are in life and where you're generally going and what's fucking happening around you, those horrible, dark, despairing feelings can suddenly feel like it's because of that. So then there's all the attachments. I hope I'm making sense. So similarly, I'm going to use an analogy. When a relationship fails, it's not just the fact that it's failed, it's the fact that you tried again and fucking hell, I knew this would happen. There's all the other negative attachments. Why does this keep happening? There's all the other negative shit that comes with it that makes it feel even more terrible. I think it's a similar thing to that, if you know what I'm saying. I need to detach from all the other shit. So if I'm having random sadness moments when I'm bawling my eyes out, that's not a reflection on those specific things. It's just, that's just my fucking emotional dysregulation. That's just shit happening in my brain that I can't control. Those external influences or factors might trigger it, or they might be triggered by it, if that makes sense. But you know, I know that when I'm sitting in the hairdressers, hopefully she's not too busy. There's 5 of them have snapped. I want them put back on. It's starting to look bald. It's amazing the difference 5 makes. It's like I think there was 27 and now there's 22. And it does make a difference. But you know, I'll probably be chatty and bubbly and whatever. And you could probably say to anyone in that shop, would you think that that man was bawling his fucking eyes out and wanted to just press the off button again, like half an hour ago, excuse me, however long it takes me to get up there. And yeah, I know a lot of people go through it as well, but I don't know. A lot of people that say they go through it as well have got just so much more than me that they don't realise. And I'm not just talking about material shit, I'm just talking about, I don't know, the shit that ain't happening around me and in me and shit. That leads to the bleakness, that leads to the loneliness, that leads to the emptiness and all that shit. and it's affected me to the point where I'm this fucked up by it. You know, because we're not allowed to say anything's bad, are we? We're not allowed to say anything's bad without getting reminded that other people go through it too. So it's just an automatic way of getting us all to button our fucking lips and go home on our own and be sad and get sicker. This is what fucking happens, isn't it? This is what fucking happens. Is everyone doesn't want to say anything because they'll just feel like they're being guilt tripped. What a horrible video this is. But it was, yeah, I had no real like intentions of anything. It was just that literally happened while I was sitting watching the telly, and I was reduced to a fucking horrible state of deep sadness and boo-hooicalness. And now I'm okay, and I'm going to walk up the road in a bit. I've got what else did I get? I had tabbouleh and falafel. Look at Giz's eyes. I got some fruity. No, I got eggs and mustard mayo. That's it. Hard-boiled eggs. I'm gonna eat those, and then go and get my braids redone, and look into getting these bits dyed pink.